What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? Back. Saturday morning. Back to back. Shout out to everybody that's up. What's good, y'all? What's up? We're gonna get into it. Good to see everybody this morning. Yesterday, it was some stuff going on with AI yesterday. That's why I was all that choppy distortion going on. So shout out to Sister T, because she said something in the chat that I had caught when I knew that's how I knew it was messing up. Long story short, yeah, I had to shut that video down because it was sounding messed up, but it's still on members only. But we're gonna get into it today. So I'm gonna also touch on a few things from yesterday, because yesterday I was talking about Faith Evans about to get that estate taken, and we were talking about her son CJ, and next thing you know, her son CJ is now in a lawsuit with Diddy. We was just talking about little CJ yesterday. Just talking about it yesterday. So we just gonna jump back into it. All right. So we now know that Diddy controlled the whole estate. He controlled all the key figures of Biggie life. Mother, his childhood friends. He bought all of them, paid them all off, basically. All right. So we also know how we assume allegedly that Faith was put on Biggie by Diddy. So what I said yesterday was, if she never would have got that baby, a lot of the stuff we see would have never happened. We also now know in 2025, Faith Evans is the official one to blame of the East Coast West Coast beef, because if she never would have took a picture with Pop, this would have never happened. If she never would have been in Pop's face, this would have never happened. So obviously, everybody can clearly see it's because of her. All right, now whether Diddy made her do it, that's a whole nother topic. But the fact is, a war came out of her. Years later, fast forward, that child of her arms is now being accused of doing dirt with Diddy. So this is what we talking about, y'all. When I spoke about yesterday how this bad news just won't go away, it's going to keep coming. All right? So we got an update. We got an update on Chris Brown. Chris Brown ain't about nothing. His career been over. But Chris Brown is only used for bad news because his name is Bad News Brown. That's his job. All right, so like we said yesterday, we spoke about it, man. You'll see Diddy behind, like that's his kid. He's so slick, he the one might have did put a baby in. How we won't even know. You know what I'm saying? Mess around, take a DNA test, come to find out that's Diddy's son. You get it? Because we also spoke about how Faith Evans, Naughty by Nature Tretch, Redman got history from New Jersey, Queen Latifah, always been tied in with this industry. And it's assumed that Faith was always controlled. Maybe they knew Biggie's weak. Maybe they knew Biggie's weakness. The whole point we talking about today is, how the heck did CJ get a charge? I also spoke about yesterday, what we've been talking about is most of Diddy's behavior, most of his allegations, most of his freaky, nasty stuff he accused of is in lawsuits. We also just got a lawsuit this week about how he allegedly abused a man and did something on Biggie's shirt, wiped something like that. But we just gonna speed it up. All right. So we spoke about yesterday how Aaliyah been around him. Aaliyah was around them when she was a straight minor. And I spoke about yesterday how Aaliyah got dirt on all of them. Now you see why years later, when you saw that picture with Aaliyah, Diddy, J-Lo, Dame, you will see that was years later, but she was already around them, so she knew Diddy very well. Yes, because anybody that don't get it, it's already proven that Aaliyah and Brandy were together. They raised them both up together. Yes, they were the two Hollywood babies. Brandy and Aaliyah were the two babies that were going to be raised up to inspire the new generations. Yes, they were little witches. I done showed you Aaliyah with upside down cross around the neck, all of that. Yes, they were made to be that. They were made and created to be everything they are, what they were. They were industry babies, period. But when I told y'all that everything goes back to Diddy, this is Aaliyah on Junior Mafia first album. So they always been tied in. Also, let's look at how Biggie had his own group, had his own thing, working his own label. Biggie is thinking in his mind that he's gonna just put his albums out on Bad Boy. He's gonna do his thing, and then at the same time, he's gonna leave Diddy. So also remember that too. He signed to Bad Boy, but he still got Junior Mafia. He got things going on. So I said it yesterday. I also think Biggie was doing too much, and I think he told too much, and I think him and Pac had too much stuff planned. And I think that's part of what that was part of. I think part of Biggie's downfall was him trying to do too much and not listening to Puff. And we also came to the conclusion that a lot of people didn't like Biggie anyway because he went against the grain. But we're not talking about that now. Now we're talking about his son. It's mighty funny. Faith gets accused of stealing money. Then right after that, her son gets a charge. At the same time, a man put the paperwork in to take over the whole estate. So you can kind of see how this is going. Yeah. Biggie, I knew his legacy was destroyed, but it's really destroyed now. So had to tap back into what we spoke about yesterday because the video got messed up, just to speed it up. Because today we're looking at how CJ got this charge, which means CJ was raised under Diddy. I'm pretty sure CJ was raised with the kids. We also know now what? CJ was the favorite because he was an industry baby, not Tiana, Biggie's first child. And also we spoke about how it's mighty funny how Biggie's gone, Miss Wallace gone, and the daughter, the granddaughter, she had to get the money through Faith. So if Faith loses, Biggie's daughter is going to have to get money from somebody else, or she might get cut out. I don't know. But it's all because of Faith. And Faith has been spending the money. Now you're starting to see that all of this stuff playing out. I also said that Diddy's in jail, but it's not over yet. He don't get his time. It is not over yet. Once again, to tie it all together, anybody around him, anybody affiliated, they're not clean. What I mean is just watch. You're going to see people keep getting blamed for this, blamed for that, accusations. And it's really a game of who's next. So if anybody name keep coming out, don't be surprised. All right, don't be surprised. So update once again to show the world that these memes ain't stopping and they stay on them. Faith not telling everything. Now all of a sudden CJ is in dirt. We looked at this yesterday. Diddy planted her. That's supposed to be CJ. And we know these AI videos are not real, but these AI videos always be having little stuff in it. So they forced me for it. So the whole concept of these AI videos is Faith is dirty. All right? They're all dirty. Now, we're not going to get into what they did. We're not going to get into what they know. But the whole concept is they're all dirty. All right? Because y'all all had the facts. Showed this yesterday. This was Aaliyah. Get it? Probably no more than 16 the most. She was raised in this industry, y'all. Yes. And I also said something like Aaliyah, Brandy, all the young ones, Foxy, they could have been the one used for the blackmail. See, you come in the industry, you in Junior Mafia, you done messed around and slept with Aaliyah, but you forgot she was a minor. Now, Diddy got that dirt over you your whole career. They got that dirt on you. They got that dirt on you. Anytime to bring you up on these charges. I mean, you'll see that with the politicians. Out of nowhere, they get them charges. And next thing you know, they done messed up and slept with a minor, but they might have got set up with a minor at the party. And the minor had on high heels. All right? That's Aaliyah. All right? Because right there, Aaliyah might look 20-something, but she not. She might look 21, she not. You'll see she got a baby face. So my point is, everything they were doing is just now coming to the light. That's all it is, y'all. So just to show y'all that all of them are considered dirty, it's just all about who's next. Spoke about this yesterday. Jermaine Dupri and Lover. Everybody out here, nobody is safe. All right, that's the concept. And I said I was talking about that yesterday because we were talking about how CJ, he gets his share of money. But he's the favorite over Biggie's first child. But we were also just looking at this yesterday. Diddy planted these clues, but now CJ got a charge. And it's like you see what's going. Nobody's going to be spared. So as they're losing the company, they're also being sued. All right, but Faith was not going to get away, y'all. This is why I tell you ain't nobody going to get away. It's as simple as Faith. Did you think all this stuff was going to happen over you? You in the history, and you just thought you was going to live a perfect life after that. Everybody's gone, passed away, in jail, and you just thought you was going to live a good life. Just to prove that it don't work like that, y'all. It's the proof. It's just showing you how life works. Hey, you might get everything up front, but in the end, you're going to suffer. That's Faith now because ain't nobody save her ass. What else is the clues to this industry? I think it's an unwritten rule, but somehow they always going to end up broke. Always. The black celebrity always ends up broke in the end. That's just how it goes. So like I said yesterday, I'll Be Missing You. That's the biggest song that Faith actually had. That's Diddy's biggest song. The song was the proof that Faith was never going to leave because they tied in together. Same way this on the album called No Way Out. Everybody on the Benjamins, No Way Out. I think Diddy knew back then, I'm going to get them on these songs. So when I ever do a tour, I'll be able to call all of them up and pull up. They never get away. They're going to be tied in with all this. So Faith got a lot of glory. Y'all remember, after the East Coast, West Coast beef, everybody's rest in peace. Now Faith gets her biggest song, Missing You, her debut. Remember, she wasn't big when Big was alive. Big was trolling her in the video, get money. So you can clearly see Biggie was rubbing people the wrong way. Let's assume Faith was Diddy people. Well, he was dissing Faith. Diddy loved Mace. They say Biggie was dissing Mace. He ain't like Mace. They say Biggie ain't like Craig Mack. So I get this narrative I'm looking at now. It seemed to me like Biggie was just dealing with Diddy for the money. He didn't really care too much about nothing else. But I also think that might have started resentment. Then there was rumors he gonna cut people off, Junior Mafia off. I think then they turned Junior Mafia against him. So my point is, Biggie was young, but he had no clue his whole legacy, everything he stood for was going to be under control and taken over and destroyed. All right, that's it. There's no guarantee if his daughter even going to get any more money. There's no guarantee. So let's go to little CJ, Faith's son. Biggie's son, CJ, sued. You drove me to see Diddy where he stuffed his meat in my mouth. Now, y'all, that's why I say I feel like they be trolling us, man. They be trolling me. Because I know everybody's on this internet. Like I said, y'all know I be joking saying they like man meat. Y'all know this. I'm the only one been saying that. They like man meat. Here go TMZ. Diddy stuffed his meat in my mouth. I'm just talking about CJ. We just talked about him yesterday. He not in no trending topic. Next thing you know, CJ is a trending topic. He's in trouble. The man that got a lawsuit on Diddy, the man that's saying that Diddy took him to that warehouse for that man-on-man action, he's saying CJ brought him there. So what's being said is CJ was there too. But now it's a lawsuit on CJ. Yes. But I told you, family, I'm not trying to be repetitive. I had to just see what's going on. It's going to keep being these news, so I got to keep repeating the same thing. And I got to keep repeating the same thing. It's a program. I know what's going on. That's why I'm turning up on original content, man. Members only, man. Secrets of America, man. All right? That's why I'm talking about other stuff. Because all I'm going to keep saying is what I said already. It's all of them, and they all are freaky. They all hornballs. But I've never in my life seen a topic that says, Biggie's son, You drove me to see Diddy when he stuffed his meat in my mouth. That's y'all news, y'all. Here you go. So as you see, y'all, this is nothing but, you know what, man. You already see what it is. Now, just think about a youngster waking up, seeing this title. What kind of stuff is this? You get what I'm saying? But they're the face of it. And everybody down with Diddy is going to be smeared. Nobody's going to be able to show their face. All right? But I had no clue that, because I never paid attention to CJ. He been controlling CJ the whole time. This what made me think about it, y'all. Because you know the dealer's he's an idiot, right? I said, man, what if CJ is Diddy's son the whole time? See what I'm saying? How will we know? How will we know? I don't see Biggie nowhere on that boy. What about y'all? I don't see Biggie nowhere on that boy. I ain't say Diddy's son, but I don't see Biggie nowhere. What about y'all? Holla at me, y'all. Let's chop it up. It's very possible that could be his son, right? Faith, you my side piece. Anybody gonna know this will go happen. All right, so I'm just saying. Now, if you know Biggie, you know his daughter, okay. I'm looking at CJ. All right. I'm looking for big. Those ain't big eyebrows. So all you got to know is while Biggie was passed away, Diddy was his damn daddy. And then Stevie J was his daddy. Yup. See Biggie eyebrows, right? Those ain't Biggie eyebrows. Those ain't Biggie eyebrows. I'll tell you that much. Those are not Biggie eyebrows. Let's go. Miss Wallace, as we know, controlled by Mary and Janice. Like I spoke about yesterday, in my opinion, Miss Wallace couldn't go nowhere she wanted to, and she wasn't going to do nothing because the cards, the deck was stacked against Miss Wallace, y'all. You know the movie Get Out? Miss Wallace couldn't get out. Where the hell was she going to go at? Get it? I said that yesterday because we don't know how Miss Wallace felt about all of this stuff. But that legacy had to be watched because that was money. While Miss Wallace was alive, when I looked it up, at one point, she had 160 million. That was last year when I did a video called Worth More Dead Than Alive. I was talking about Biggie, Pac, DMX. And at that time, Miss Wallace was alive. It was said that Biggie estate was worth 160 million. And when he died, he only had 10 million. So the money was there. She was straight. But you also see that the legacy was always guarded. So we also know today that what? A lot of the people didn't get no tribute. And I wonder if Miss Wallace ever wanted a tribute. But her whole legacy was controlled. Let's talk about this thing with CJ. All right, CJ been hanging with the diddler. So now the CJ is being accused. As John Doe, a man, his head was held by others. He claims Diddy attempted to stuff his meat in his mouth, all the while screaming at him that his days working for Bad Boy were over as punishment for clashing earlier. So this particular person was and like I said, every lawsuit that came out on Diddy, lawsuit, not charges in court, lawsuits in court, every one of them came on him. Every one you're going to hear about is about what he did sexually. But his defense was consensual. So that's what I say. Nobody with these stories got on that stand. But they in lawsuits. Because plus they were old. So I done heard so many stories about him making men go down on him. That's when I figured out, in my opinion, that was their form of discipline as well. It's in this story. Bending people over and other stuff, discipline. Then I hear the same stories coming out of death row. When Suge say somebody had to get disciplined, and allegedly what Suge said, Dr. Dre said, I'll do it. That's what. So I've been got through my head. And not saying it's true, not saying it's a fact, but from what I know, from what I've been hearing, from what's public information, it sounded to me like they had their own system of discipline. Because when you're dealing with celebrities, you can't beat them up. It's gonna mess their face up. You're gonna get a lawsuit. Can't pull out a firearm. Certain people can't do certain stuff too. Oh, he got to be at the BET Awards this week. Now we can't beat him up. Get it? Oh, he about to go on tour. Now we can't beat his face up. See, I look at it like that. There are other ways of doing stuff. And it's constantly in these laws. It's in these lawsuits. He got over 66. This is a new one. New lawsuit, same story of discipline. And what you going to do about it? Because that was his way of also humiliation. Humiliation and putting the fear in your ass. That's right. Making you go down, making you do stuff. All right? So let's go. Let's go back to the story. I just had to give a background. John Doe, his head was held down by others, which mean what? It was accomplices, mean people was there. All right? So like I said, you keep picking and choosing. People was there. John Doe believes the CC team snapped a photo of the event as humiliating evidence, blackmail, and says when he was able to escape back to the vehicle's location, CJ, an entrepreneur named Willie Mack, and other individuals were there to transport him home. So after it happened, allegedly to the story, Diddy made CJ drive him home after that. They made sure they made him go down, took them blackmail pictures. Now you see, you're getting close to this industry, how it works, y'all. They telling you public information, TMZ. Now remember, this information was classified, y'all. That's why you never knew about the industry. A lot of people, we never knew for facts what they do and how they get down. The Diddy trial is to show and prove to us everything they do and how they get down. That's what it's all about. Showing you how you can be like we're gonna talk about Kanye West and his freaky behavior. So remember, when I keep saying it's all of them because they are all freaks, y'all. It's just that all of them are different. All of them don't deal with abuse, but some of them are drivers. Some of them be the ones there laughing, ha ha ha. Some of them be the ones holding the camera, filming it. Some of them be the ones that they gonna go tell everybody what happened. So I tell you, everybody got a part. But the main thing you're gonna see is in their world, once you become not them no more, they don't care about no damn victims. That's how it works. Once you go against them, you ain't no victim. You get what you deserve. See, that's how it's all played out. But that's my point, how they all be dirty. You didn't do nothing, but you know exactly what happened. And you're under silence, so you can't tell. So you're all still dirty because you can't speak up for the victims. That's how it's set up to be. So that's why I tell you. Now, this man said that people held his head down. Now, you see how many more people get thrown in this one situation? Well, just know CJ is basically labeled as a driver. All right? This man claims he was forced to ride home with the taste of Diddy's balls still lingering in his jaws. Now, when the hell you heard an article like this? Huh? Hey, I only read the graphic details for the people that like this stuff. All right? I'm going to give you what you want. When I kept telling you, all you're going to get is freaky, nasty news, but I didn't know it was going to get this freaky. They talking about this man jamming meat in a man's mouth, saying this man tasted salty balls. Don't forget this TMZ around the world. So everybody's loving these stories that's into that stuff. But guess who's the main ones getting embarrassed, humiliated? Because they're giving me the revelation. This is what they do in this industry. They all know it. It affects them more than us because we don't participate in it. Anybody that is a participator in this, they are so pissed, mad, embarrassed, and scared they don't know who's next. Because I told you it's a revelation of a lifestyle. The people that let y'all live this life, the people that made y'all pledge, the people that told you it was a secret are the ones exploiting it, put it out there, put it on blast. Saying it ain't us, that's what they do. That's what it's about. Well, hey, whatever take all the attention off the Epstein list, hey, if we got to tell all y'all truths, that's what's going to happen. That's what I see. Very simple. All right? Little Rod told you, he saw the video what Stevie J was doing. All right? He told you. So that's why I say this ain't about nothing. Because I told the secret joke is the way the case played out. The trial about women, but everything got to do with men. The men with sex trafficking. The whole concept was the Punisher was sex trafficked. The male models were the ones being trafficked, not no woman. That's why I told you yesterday the Punisher job was to get on that stand and tell everything on everybody. That was his job. No, Diddy had his way with men. He treated men like hoes. He treated men worse than hoes. Because you will see, even this low-level woman, he treated all, when you really pay attention, he treated all the women better than the men. Even if he beat the woman ass, he still treated them better than the men because he dragged the men out. I didn't hear no story of Diddy making nobody. But then again, Young Miami did say that. Young Miami said something about, remember Young, we read the post by Young Miami when she was talking to that girl. And she said, girl, Diddy will make you eat my you know what. So that's not Ben got the clue on what he does. Yeah. So you will clearly see, y'all, TMZ be trolling. They be joking too. I done showed you that already. So this be their way of joking when they say stuff like this. The man claims he was forced to ride home with the taste of Diddy's balls still lingering in his jaws. A traumatic experience. All right, but just know that man ain't getting paid because I'm gonna just leave it at he got a lawsuit in, but he should have got on that stand. So you also see, y'all, the freaky tales of rap. Like I said, the freaky tales, they ain't gonna stop because they've been coming out since forever. So now, anybody that step don't get it through their head what Diddy's about. So you already got it. When he's drunk, high, sober, it don't matter. When he's horny, he want to prove a point, he knows what's up. He gonna discipline you with that P. That's right. P.Diddy disciplined them all with that P. And if you want to be his friend, you better give him some pleasure. Because if not, he gonna give you some pain. I told you, I see this thing very, very clear. I know who he was in this industry, and I know what his job was. That's right. Keep their ass in line. The thing is, we do not know who the bad boy worker was that got the taste of salty balls in his mouth. He might be a YouTuber now. You see how this stuff works? See how many clues it is? You don't know who Diddy made go down. You don't even know who pushed his head down. But they still out here. That's why I say it's all of them. Huh? Who's next? Enjoy the last of your freaky stories. This is also showing the world that not only are these men freaks, they all punks. Why? Because you have a story of a man making another man go down. That man didn't go out fighting. That man didn't say, he told me go down, I swung on them, then they beat my ass. He didn't say that. See, you ain't getting none of them stories neither. See, Diddy tried to make me go down, but I act like I was going to do it. Then I bit him and I punched him in the face and ran. You ain't going to hear that. You ain't going to hear none of that. Because that's why I say they were punks. But see, it's not just that. The truth is, secret organization, secret hazing, secret codes of Black Hollywood. You better not tell you won't get no more jobs. You know how we get down. You know what you did. And you're going to take this and you're going to get blackmailed. He also knew they had that picture. Stay in line. We also know what? 250 cameras. So if they got 250 cameras out of his house, I already been assumed how many men he made do the same thing. Because in my opinion, his house was the torture chamber. That's my opinion. When they got them guns, scratched off cereal, all that Astroglide, all that rope hills, I know what he was doing in that house. I already know this already. They're giving us the clues in these stories. Yes. And once again, the thing is, he did it to a lot of men. We don't know who's who. All right, now we got to get into Kanye. Perverted behavior. Because they're all hornballs. Now, this all alleged. But Kanye went to see Diddy. He been a supporter of Diddy. So I'm pretty sure he must have known he was going to get some of this smoke. That's right. So let's look at it. Kanye West accused of false imprisonment in latest lawsuit update. Kanye West was subjected to further allegations after his former assistant, Laura Pascotta, she filed an amendment complaint against the rapper, including sex trafficking. Okay, now this thing with Kanye, I spoke about this last year. I spoke about this too. Like I say, nothing go past this table. Spoke about this last year of the freaky behavior. But like I said, when I went into the whole thing, this is how they all get down. It's just that some of them are different. But you're going to hear the pattern with all of them. They whip their meat out on your ass. Whether a woman or men, they're going to whip their meat out on you. That's right. Because in their world, they worship that P. And they're going to whip that P out on you. That's what they do. That's why you heard stories of Cassie getting what? Pee in her mouth. Either way, you're going to always hear something what? Freaky. Now, Kanye, He was different from Diddy. But he's still a freak, because they all freaks. Because in this industry, to get that money, you got to be a freak. That's right. Kanye West, he's subjected to further allegations after former assistant filed an amended complaint against the rapper. Let's go. We also had to remember a lot of these women that were down with these programs, a lot of them are broke, no more jobs. The celebrities don't got no more jobs. So anybody banking on that, they don't got no more job. So you're going to keep seeing these lawsuits. You're going to keep seeing them. And that's why you're seeing now all the lawsuits are from people that play certain positions. Man hoes, prostitutes, female hoes, prostitutes. Because I also know that in this game, they will call you an assistant, but the whole time you could be his main what? Prophet. Okay. You can be his young man, his assistant, but you're really his little boyfriend. So I know this whole game. All right. Thank you, Mally C. So she alleged that Kanye jacked off while touching her vajayjay before falling asleep mid-sentence. So allegedly he was playing with himself and touching on her and fell asleep. That's what his charge is, him being a perv. In another instant, Kanye allegedly pushed his way into her hotel room, demanding he use her shower before allegedly assaulting her. Thank you, Mally. The court documents, thanks, Mike Flame. Thanks, bro. What's up? What's up, bro? Day one. Good to see you. I just got to move this real quick. The court documents claim Piscata froze and shot. So he came to a hotel room, pushed in the room, said, I'm going to take a shower. But she still let him in, right? Like I said, I ain't taking up a Kanye. I'm looking at this lawsuit. So one, he would be in a pervert, jacking off, touching the coochie. This one, he comes to the hotel. Now, mind you, she works for him the whole time. He comes to the hotel, busts in, and hop in the shower. Let's go. Let's go. So they all perverts and weirdos. Yes, they are. So I already told you about Kanye. When he tells the truth, he tells the truth. When he does other stuff, I don't pay Kanye no mind. All right? But I've told you the same about all of them. They all freaks and weirdos. They all perverts. They all horny. It's all about who they abuse, who they don't abuse, and it's always about who. Some mess with youngsters and some don't. That's how this thing plays out. It's like food. They all got their picks fetishes. So as you see, Miss Piscata sued Kanye 2024. I spoke about that. Now she added some sauce on it. So she tacked on claims of assault, battery, stalking, and sexual battery and trafficking. That's the real charges. False imprisonment, the real charges. Because I showed y'all that's what's going on right now. People being held against their will and they can't leave. Why? Somebody told me about what happened to them. I might get into that later. Yes, somebody I know told me that they ex, they don't even mess with no more. Be still popping up at their job. Still got access to their account. Made them lose their crib and everything. Went with another woman. Blacked their eye. And not even with them no more. Because it's an extortion thing, I told y'all. A lot of women are under extortion. A lot of women are in a situation with men right now, they can't leave they wanted to. They know damn well in their mind they kidnapped, but they can't say it, do nothing. That's right. That's what all this is about, y'all. I'm not here to blow up nobody's spot, make nobody hot, but I told y'all what was going to happen. What we used to call a struggle couple, what we used to call a couple where somebody take care of somebody else. And you taking care of this person, but now you don't want to do it no more. And now you can't stop doing it. You can't leave. This person ain't going nowhere. Guess what that's called now? All right, that's what it's called. All right, that's what it is. If you're in a relationship and you can't break up and it goes somewhere else with that stalking and all that other stuff, guess what you're dealing with? It's all in the Diddy trial, y'all. You see, that's what I'm trying to tell y'all, right? Everything that we participated in as normal. See, like, you know what the dudes say now? You ain't going nowhere. That's them words right there, y'all. That's them words. You ain't never gonna leave me. I tell yo, bro, you got women say that to you. You ain't never gonna leave me over my dead body. You ain't never gonna be with another woman. There you go, right there, bro. You kidnapped, bro. You being trafficked. Why? She won't let you go nowhere, but she just use you for having sex. She just use you for sex, bro, and your money. So you actually being trafficked and kidnapped, bro. You just don't know it. That's why they got these laws, because they know a lot of people in situations. You know what else they know? That's why the Diddy trial played out in court in a hotel room. They know a lot of people been losing their homes, losing their cribs. So what they know, you got to live in a hotel. You're sinking. You went from apartment, a house to a hotel. Now they know everything you did in your home, you're going to do in a hotel. You're going to still got to make your money to pay for that hotel. So 9 times out of 10, you're going to deal with illegal activity. So now they know, now we got you where you want you. You're in a hotel, you're using our Wi-Fi, and now we know everything you're doing, and we're watching your traffic. Trap, that was the plan. All of them once again locked up for dealing with minors. This update from yesterday, because yesterday's episode was messed up. When I wanted to keep showing y'all that, no, it ain't just a Diddy trial. When I said it's from the top to the bottom, even little CJ, are you getting it yet? Rich people getting in trouble for sexual deviant. Old people don't matter, but you're going to see who's the face of this deviant behavior that was taught, accepted throughout generations as a culture, as, oh, it's nothing, or nobody's going to know, oh, she don't care, or she's stupid, or whatever you thought it was. You are now going to witness who is the face of this biggest crime. Trafficking is the biggest fight since World War II. All right? For those who don't get it through their head, you look at the energy they had for Hitler and understand they got that same energy, even worse for this. That's the part y'all not getting through y'all head. See? If I got to put it to you like that, if you know how they all was against Hitler, well, guess what? They say them people right there worse than Hitler. That's right. And that's how they coming for them. That's what I'm trying to tell you. All right? If you can't get that, you're going to get it clear. You're going to get it clear. The Diddy trial was the poster child. But you're going to see it play out from the rich to the poor. The rich, Kanye, CJ, to the rich, Chris Brown, the sexual deviant. How many sexual assault Chris Brown had? But what if I told you the whole situation with him and Rihanna, and every situation you kept seeing was for you in your life to think domestic violence was normal, to think getting your ass whipped was normal, to getting your checks taken was normal? No, it's called abuse. But the key word to control people was love. This word love, and I love you, and we've been together this long, was really saying is, I've been whipping your ass this long, why you gonna leave me now? See? Everything taught backwards. When real people know in reality, when things ain't right, you leave. F them numbers. F all that. Small people say, I don't care, we've been married 6 months. Oh, this who he is, I'm out. No, you're going to try to uphold what? Names, titles, and images. Oh, we're a perfect marriage. Even though we go home, he's somebody else. All right? It was to make you think it's normal. So when I tell you I'm not here to destroy nobody, I was trying to tell y'all that's old game. That's old lifestyle. That shit played out. See, it was a bum lifestyle that goes back to the 60s when a woman had to get on the system to survive and they had to act like the man wasn't there. This when the whole concept of the man sneaking in the house, going to other woman's house, is where it'll come from. Because the man that never had his own had to sleep with a lot of women to make it. That's where it comes from. And these women had to take what? Abuse. That's where it comes from. It was a teaching. So I'm sick of all these stories because I know they all deadbeats, they all piece of shit, and I also know what they're supposed to do. This is why I'm going to give y'all everything with clarity as I close these chapters, the end of an era of abuse, freaks, perversion, weirdos, and shit that ain't about shit. All right? That's right. Ain't about nothing. All right? Chris Brown, Doodle Brown, Bobby Brown, pick one. Same people. Perverts. Chris Brown has had so many allegations. What happened? He still got fans. He still sells tickets, which means it is already proven in this country that women have accepted abuse. This is why when Cassie gets dragged, nobody cares. Why? You saw what happened to Rihanna, but you still bought Chris Brown tickets. That's why it was all set up for you to be the biggest hypocrite of hypocrisy, and you love hip-hop, hypocrisy music. All right? Because everybody has a contradiction on purpose, but everybody was accepted to this day. All right? You accepted weirdos. You accepted abusers. You saw Chris Brown hair pink, blue, yellow, orange clothes, stars. You seen everything. You seen Chris Brown do drugs and you seen videos of him allegedly doing stuff and clubs, you know everything about him. But you never said, get Chris Brown out of here. See that? A glorified woman beat on top of that. How we know that? Well, somehow Chris Brown blew up more after he beat Rihanna's ass and went to another level. But I also been knew that Chris Brown had what? Two-way fans. That's right. Men who beat women, men who don't like women, or men who just like men. They like Chris Brown. So a lot of men like Chris Brown because they just like Chris Brown. This is what I was telling y'all. It went to an era of who you like. So when I seen people could do whatever they want and people still like them, I know, no, you like that person. You like them. Because I don't like pieces of shit. I don't care who you are. And you ain't going to make me like them. That's it. And everybody makes mistakes. But what y'all keep forgetting, one of Chris Brown charges also came from what? A Diddy party. Because Chris Brown was still hanging with Diddy. This is 2022. Tiana Taylor, when I tell you this fool's having Diddy parties to the last drop, here we go. Birthday parties, freak off parties, all type of parties. Also, this is the same party I showed. Matter of fact, that's Diddy's birthday. Shows you who was there that day. Jay-Z. Who else? Mary J. Blige. 2022. Oh, what else happened 2022? That's the year the man said he contacted H.I. at one of Diddy parties, okay? So when I tell y'all it's just starting, you don't know who's next. But I've been knew why Chris Brown been getting in trouble because they dropped a documentary on him. It's a campaign on Chris Brown as we speak. Yes, it is. And Russell Simmons. It's on Hulu. It's on Peacock, Netflix. Chris Brown ain't safe. I told you, the only game they've been playing is tricking their fans. Not even tricking their fans, because the fans accepted their behavior. So that means that's who they are. Only woman beaters, get it? Or woman that's used to abuse. If you're a woman that gets your ass beat, maybe it's a reason why you like Chris Brown. You just don't know. It's mental. Somehow you stand and put together how everybody you be with abuses you because you like abuse. Yeah, and when you get with this man, you're going to tell him how the last man abused you, and then he's going to say, he did you like that? Well, guess what I'm going to do? That's how it works. It's an accepted culture of abuse. But you got some situation where people can't get out. But abuse. Because you were taught to take abuse and deal with it. So when I showed you people in their 60s, 70s, 50s, 30s, all them old as hell, look what they all locked up for. The same thing. Look at their complexion. Is that a mistake? Or is that what they into? Is that their lifestyle? When I know that red braids mean no job. Or BS job. When I see nappy hair, nappy face, no real job. Or if it's a real job, labor. But I look at old man, he too old to do labor. He ain't doing no labor. See how easy it is? All right then. So what I'm trying to tell y'all, now, you don't got to be a genius. Is it a coincidence? All of them are in trouble for X trafficking and drugs. Diddy trial is based on what? X trafficking and drugs. Huh? Is it a coincidence Kanye West is accused of trafficking? Now, Chris Brown, he just got out of one of his charges. But his charge comes from Star Island, which we now know is the freak-off mansion. Now, the thing what people don't get is Chris Brown was trying to go. See, I saw a post of Chris Brown bragging, saying out his mouth over a year ago, everybody kept coming at me. Everybody kept thinking I was the worst. I said, don't worry, Chris Brown gonna get his too. Because he was trying to use Diddy as an excuse to say, everybody came at me, but I'm better than Diddy. See? That's why I kept this campaign of, no, y'all, it's all of them. It's just different levels. Then I also went into how, pulled up the article how Chris Brown said out his own mouth. You can watch the interview. You'll find it where he said that he tried to sign with Diddy at 13. And the manager brought him to Diddy at 13. But I'm like, who the hell is the manager? And Chris Brown, who's your mother? Because now I know who Diddy is and what he does. So that's how I put together what he did to you. Then we looked at an old freak-off party, the all-white party. Chris Brown at the party showed you him sweating his ass off. Everybody else ain't sweating. He there sweating his ass off. So I know what's up. Diddy control all of them, and they were scared to death. And you'll see Diddy being touchy-touchy with Chris. Also, you see Fresh Montana there, and we know what Fresh was doing. Fresh the type gonna hold your arms. But let's go, because you've been getting the proof. to show you they all family. No, Chris Brown is going to court in London because that was a charge he was running from for over a year. But see, what I'm trying to tell you is when Chris Brown was running his mouth in America, how he better than Diddy. Somehow he caught that charge in Europe. Plus, Chris Brown also got a charge in Texas as we speak. Yes. So, not too long ago, it was a beef between Ray and the kids. But what y'all don't get is all of these kids grew up together. Y'all didn't comprehend yet that Chris Brown grew up with all of them grew up together. They know all of them from kid babies, man. Babies. They all know each other from babies. So the proof was right here. Check this out. When they were beefing, right here. Chris Brown breaks up fight between, see, Diddy's kids and Ray. Remember recently Ray and them were going back and forth? But what y'all didn't get is they are family, y'all. So that's why I never went for that. It was all BS. They're family, guys. They family. You want to know the truth? The truth is Diddy knew Ray before he even had those kids. You know what I'm saying? That's part of the truth, y'all. You get it? Or you could say he knew Ray ever since Justin was a baby. You get it? That's how far him and Ray go back, y'all. Him and Brandy. That's how far it goes back. So that's the honest God truth. He knew. You see, Ray is really like Diddy family. So, and I told you, Chris Brown knew him from 13. So you'll see it was a family situation. Chris Brown breaks up the fight. So that's why I kept telling you, everybody go back to Diddy and people to understand how powerful he was. He controlled Hollywood behind the scenes. He let everybody else have a face. He let everybody else, okay, you believe he the king? Believe they the king. You believe, okay, Chris, or whatever you want to believe. That's what y'all was supposed to believe. You believe Jay-Z's the top, that's what y'all believe. But they never had his power. Real power is what? Respected by powerful people. People in high unseen places that we'll never know to this day. All right? We also know it was said that he said out his mouth that Kanye basically was like his little brother. Get it? But anyway, Chris Brown was raised amongst the family. So when I see Chris Brown in court, what's something I said about Chris Brown, y'all? We all know Chris Brown has the masters. Let me also tell you how this court case will play out. See, we can be looking at like it's petty. Man, this case mess around, Chris Brown get locked up. Even if it's for a year, 2 years, just enough to make him lose everything. Get it? So don't be surprised if somehow out this court case, Chris Brown don't have no masters no more. Because I've been telling y'all for a long time. I said if Chris Brown smart, his ass to get low. If he was smart, he would have been sold them masters. Said all that before he got these charges. Because Chris Brown his son, he won't learn. He keep trying to prove to the world that he's good. He keep trying to prove his point because he don't want to bow out gracefully. Even though this fool was selling clothes on his lawn, he don't care about fans. He charges them $1,000 a picture. I'm not going through that today. Chris Brown has proved he don't care about no damn women, men. He don't care about nobody but himself. But the only thing is, he won't get through his head. He's worth more out of here than still around. All right? As long as he got all that music, he better watch out because he ain't doing his homework. He ain't see what happened to Prince, Michael, Whitney. Get it? No, he's not comprehending that part. If I was Chris Brown, I'd have been sold my stuff. But don't be surprised if after this court case, after it's all said and done, his ass don't fuck around and be locked up in Europe. Huh? That's right. Because all you got to know is Diddy controlled his ass. He is a family member. So when I was saying everybody's going to get this, it's not a coincidence. Chris Brown, part of the family, he's in trouble. Young CJ, part of the family, he's now in trouble. Kanye, part of the family, he's in trouble. All right? And you're going to see everybody under Black entertainment in trouble, one way or another. Chris Brown pleads not guilty to additional assault charges in London court after alleged nightclub. See, they threw more charges on his ass. Yeah, because the plan is to keep Chris Brown wrapped up in that so he can't tour. I know what's up. He usually tour in the summer. It's to wrap him up. He's going to be occupied. But I'm telling you, y'all know in UK it's different. Assault charge here is different over there. He mess around, get locked up over there. Just enough for him to lose it all. Because I also said something. Man, if Chris Brown get locked up, he ain't going to be able to take it. I say he probably will sign them rights over faster than Tupac signed that piece of paper allegedly to get out of jail. If we thought Pop sold out to get out of jail, allegedly, if Chris Brown get locked up in the UK and a lawyer pull up and say, hey, Chris, I can get you out, but I'm going to need those rights because it's going to take a lot. See how easy it is? I'm telling you, because they're not built for jail, especially not overseas. If R. Kelly had all his music rights right now, and somebody said, R. Kelly, if you give me those rights, I'll get you home. You don't think he'll do it? Damn right he will. Because they can't take that prison stuff, y'all. They can't. You used to mansions, having your life however you want it. Now you in a cell, like nobody dirt. They can't take it, y'all. See what Epstein did. But here's what they've been saying about Chris Brown, y'all. Let's go. Bend over or no record deal. So, like I said, me putting it all together, this whole Diddy trial was a revelation of what black entertainment has to do and what they've been doing. But the thing is, they don't got to do it no more because it's over. But this is what they've been doing. It was a revelation of these people's freaky behavior, because I assumed that things went too far. People's mouth got too big. And the only way to put somebody in place is one way: humiliation. Yeah, you guys got a lot. You got a lot of power. You got a lot of platforms. You got a lot of mouths. You got a lot of finances. You might got a lot of artillery. But one thing you can't fight is truth. And that's why the truth been let out on them. The people that told them everything they do is going to be a secret forever, they lied to them, y'all. That's all this is. A lie. The lie was also them thinking they had all this power. That was the lie. But now the lie has been exposed. So when I kept telling you, people can try to hide it all they want, but it's nothing they're going to do about it because it's bigger than them. Bend over or no record deal. What else? It is also their discipline code. Pee in mouth, all of that. How many times you heard about Diddy making people drink piss? I heard all the stories. I heard the stories about him making people drink piss. I heard the stories of him making people go down. I heard the stories of him making people bend over. I don't got to hear no more. Enter the wrong room and that's your ass. See the clues? I'm showing you how around the world they've been destroying black entertainment. It doesn't matter if they're a trending topic today. They're all finished, y'all. I'm going to keep giving you live updates. Then I'm going to show you how these articles, I pulled up some of this stuff goes back to 2023. 2023, while Diddy was around. These videos almost 2 years old, y'all. People have been trying to tell you stuff. Expose Diddy GAY parties because the whole concept y'all didn't get. Your ass daughter was just about Cassie. Who else? Whatever woman you got. Whatever woman you got in the whole shit. Cassie, who else? Who else? What other woman? What other woman did you have sexual acts with? What? Daphne? Jane Doe? Okay, all right. That's a couple years. What about the whole 30 years? No, y'all. He had his way with the men of this industry, guys. Every last one of them he wanted. It was nothing going to say about it. So we're going to go back into the story of how he jammed his meat in that man's mouth because it was nothing that man was going to say about it, and it got filmed. But that man was not the only one. Meat was not the only one. Y'all got so much proof, but you don't understand that bisexual man going to play with whoever he wants. But it was also standard industry rules. Thank you very much. Your discipline was you get whipped with a stick. Music industry had their own way. All right, if you're a woman, they might stick your face between a woman's leg, make you eat for 5 hours straight in front of everybody. They got their own way. All right? Now you seeing Faith get embarrassed and her son. That's right. They thought it was going to just be BIGGIE, y'all. Nope. Even though they've been trying to give us these clues that what? All of them are super dirty. Every last one of them. Dirty, dirty, dirty. So, let's go back to the story. Because remember, y'all, Faith was not that big while BIGGIE was alive. If you really remember, her career did not start till he was dead. Missing You was Faith's biggest song. That's what blew her up. But the song is eerie because now you can kind of know they were talking about BIGGIE, but it probably wasn't real. I also think this song was to let anybody else know, hey, If you fuck up, we'll be missing you. This is gonna be our song right here, industry. Jadakiss, Maze, all y'all. This y'all song. Hey, Black, this y'all song. Any one of y'all go against the grain, this gonna be y'all song at y'all funeral. I'll be mid. Get it? Yeah, this was for all of them. Trust me on that. And this is when Diddy became the king of the industry. And all of them after that were scared because they seen, everything in this industry affects them more than us. We the fans. But if you're an entertainer, you looking at like, I don't want to be Tupac next. I ain't trying to be Biggie. Hell no, I ain't trying to start my own label. I ain't doing none of that. I'm just trying to do my music and go home. This is when the fear of what got put in them. And they've been in line ever since. That's why when I show y'all Fabulous and Jadakiss and them scared to this day, because no, the fear got put in them back then, y'all. Back then, they always were scared of Diddy because of this. And then let's not get it twisted. Diddy ran with it. There's also no difference is even if you ain't do it, got nothing to do with it, you still act like you did it. You scare people. Man, I don't know. Did he do it? I don't know. But I'm gonna run with it anyway. Told Pop, man, he should have stopped playing with me. I told Biggie, do them songs. He ain't want to listen. See, he could just say stuff like that, torment them rappers. Torment their ass. All right? Because you want to see everybody was under control, y'all. And when, like I said, with this picture, this let me know Diddy control Faith, not Biggie. I know the industry now. As far as I'm talking about the game they was on, because y'all all know your girl sitting next to you. Period. Period on either side. No, this mean he controlled Faith and Biggie. Even if it's through what? Contract. Guess what, bro? If I put your wife in a contract, I control your wife. She's my wife now. That's how it works. It's on paper. Remember, y'all married by ring. I got her ass by contract, which means I got both of y'all income in my hands. See how that work? That's the industry, guys. That's the industry. Ain't nothing you gonna do about it neither. So that's why you also know about the freak offs. It's a Hollywood thing. The head of the freak off, the head of the party get to sleep with your wife too. That's all coded too. But it's also coded under what? Threesomes, swingers. Nope. That's how it's treacherous, guys. That might be your sacrifice. You're going to come to the party with your wife and you're going to let me have your wife, bro. That's right. You want your career, right? So which one is it? That's the game they play. That's the game they play. So look, let's go into these graphic details for all you freaky people. We got some more freaky stories for you. Let's go. Biggie's son, CJ, sued. The man said, CJ, you drove me to see Diddy where he stuffed his meat in my mouth. So allegedly, Diddy tried to stick a whole Nathan's hot dog in the man's mouth. A grown man. As John Doe's head was held down by others. Who did it? Was Little C's there? Who did it? Who knows? See that? Held the man's head down. So you now hear, right? Willing participants, also people that use force. Let's go. We don't know who they are, do we? Do we know who they are? Nope. Could have been Cameron. I don't know. Could have been Fat Joe. As John Doe's head was held by others, he claimed Diddy attempted to stuff his meat in his mouth, all the while screaming at him that his days working for Bad Boy were over. So Diddy allegedly was yelling at him, your days at Bad Boy over. Why they making him go down? As punishment for clashing earlier. So the guy was running his mouth. He became a problem. But we also heard this with who? Christopher Williams. He tried to lie. Say, we heard Christopher Williams, right? So you got stories of what Diddy does. And you got to remember, these men are so scared they wasn't getting on no stand. They want to be secret. But you got it right here. Mind you, this is also the man that is suing Diddy. And he's suing CJ because CJ allegedly was the driver. And CJ had, because remember, when you're dealing with trafficking, you ain't do nothing, but you the one that drove me. You the one that picked me up. You the one that put me in the trunk. You the one that held me in the back and said, where you going at? So you part of the operation. That's what CJ in trouble for. Thank you, Auntie. So as you see, that was Diddy way of hazing also. Sexual behavior. All right? In the school, you might get whipped with a paddle. in the industry, you're going to get whipped for real with some meat. Punishment. How we know that? It was also filmed. But that was their way so you couldn't go tell. Because you got to remember, he also knew, if you tell, I dropped these tapes, your career is over with. Plus, you're going to get blackballed for going against me anyway. What's up, Annette? What's up, everybody? So it was a no-win situation. Only chance you had was to fight and get your ass whipped. That was it. So let's go. The freaky tales. John Doe believes the CC team, I don't even know what that means. The CC team snapped a photo of the event as humiliating evidence and says when he was able to escape back to the vehicle's location, CJ, Biggie's son, an entrepreneur named Willie Mack, and other individuals were there to transport him. So you keep seeing the word of individuals, y'all. It was individuals that pushed his head down. It was individuals that saw him get put in the car. But you don't know who these individuals are. Told you it's a nation of them, y'all. It's a nation. It's what they're into. We're talking about black entertainment. Let's go. TMZ exposing it. Why nobody ain't gonna get mad at TMZ? Why nobody ain't gonna go say they lying? Why do people just harass content creators, but they never go to the source? All right then. Because I told you, outside of that world, that little small world, they don't control nothing. This is an exposure of a behavior of black entertainment of what they've been doing for that money. That's all it is. It is their codes being exposed, just like the mafia got exposed, just like gang culture got exposed, just like everything else got exposed. The Klan got exposed. Black entertainment, you ain't no different. You pick your organization, you ain't no different. Because in one thing about America, all organizations get exposed. You just didn't know your American history. If you did, you would have noticed what happens to every organization. That's right. Because when they say we pulling the curtain off, this organization is too dangerous now, that's what they do. I'll give you a hint, the Klan. I'll give you another hint, the mob. Those were secret organizations that helped build America. But when it was all said and done, they had to be dismantled because they know what would have happened. Well, black entertainment, you never thought it happened to you, right? Black entertainment, black mafia, black Hollywood, black, all getting the same thing. This is a hit from higher ups. That's why it's in the news. He claimed he was forced to ride home with the taste of Diddy's balls still lingering in his jaws. A traumatic experience. All right. So you didn't believe the Astroglide. You didn't say nothing about the 700 dildos. So they had to make it real clear and graphic for you so you get it through your head. That's why TMZ said we're not playing with none of y'all. All right. Y'all still don't get it? We're gonna tell you what it is. Salty balls. Teabag. All right. You don't want to believe the dildos, huh? They saw y'all celebrating. You celebrating baby y'all still. Well, celebrate these balls in mouth. That's what they want y'all to do. They want y'all to justify, well, he just put the tip in. He didn't put the balls in his mouth. Well, he just didn't, there's nothing wrong with if he just put the tip in his mouth. That's what they want y'all to break down. They want y'all to do videos on this today. All right? Because they're trolling your ass. That's right. The lawsuit claims the abuse peaked a few days earlier with the Biggie t-shirts. What happened? That man said Diddy basically skeeted and wiped himself off with Biggie t-shirt and said, rest in peace, Big. Laughing. That's what the man said. It's in the lawsuit. All right. Nothing is a fact. But once again, when I said they feel like everybody made a mockery of that Diddy trial and Diddy might get more time, now all of a sudden you get more Diddy graphic details. That's right. Because anybody that's been paying attention to this case, all of the freaky tales are in his lawsuits. Over what he did for Sean John, over what he did in Making of the Band. Stories of 19-year-olds, 17-year-olds, 11-year-olds. All in stories, nothing fact. All the stories. When we laughing at Meek Mill and them in the mansion. All these stories, not in lawsuits. That's the thing. I got all the details already. They told me already. But everything he did wasn't a crime. That's the thing, see? That's the whole thing. Everything wasn't a crime. And a lot of stuff he did was old. That's why it's lawsuits. Get it? So that's why he said, Your Honor, it was consensual. Meaning, hey, anything a man say about me, that's a lie. That's what that was about. The lawsuit claims the abuse peaked a few days earlier with the Biggie t-shirt toss. That incident and another sit-down meeting. See, Diddy having sit-down meetings, this should prove that this situation was disciplined. You heard about the story with Capricorn Clark, how he took her to a warehouse. This is a similar story. Them taking a man somewhere, a warehouse, where they said Biggie clothes was at. So you got your stories of Diddy taking somebody to a warehouse. This is the man version. Capricorn Clark, man, take latto take the test. Man, you getting disciplined different. He also knew a woman will sue my ass. But if I do it to a man, he ain't gonna tell. Take that man to that warehouse, he getting a penis punishment. That's right. And it's gonna be recorded and they watching. Now you see why they came and got those cameras? Let's go. So Diddy allegedly told John Doe out of the blue that he was going to F the ish out of him. Wow. And unexpectedly groped him. So you see, stuffing this man's mouth and telling him he gonna screw the hell out of him. All alleged. But you see how TMZ posting it, right? You see how TMZ, I want y'all to see media. TMZ posting it so you get it very, very clear. Because a lot of y'all been acting like y'all know what's up, right? So they're going to make sure, baby, understand. They're going to make sure it's so clear you ain't even got to know how to read. You're going to get it real clear, these details. This is called graphic details for adults, all right? For everybody that still didn't get what he was doing, all right? That's what the astrogliding here was for, all right? That's why Little Rod exposed it, saying what? He was shown tapes of Stevie J and stuff that Diddy was doing to people. Because Little Rod, you up next. If you don't get in line, you're going to be next. That's why they saying Faith not telling everything. They was doing a lot. They had their own discipline system. All right? So now CJ is being accused because this man claims CJ and a man called Willie Mack and others that we don't know had promised more business opportunities as restitution for his issues with Diddy. So as you see, after they violated the man, they gave him false promises. Don't worry, bro. You're going to be all right. We got you. Look, you're going to be all right. We got some more stuff coming up. You know, you're going to be all right. We're going to have some more jobs for you. Giving them false promises. Meanwhile, he's already blackballed on camera, everything. We don't know who the people are. There was witnesses, guys. So that's showing you right here, y'all. You got your proof. It's not over. It's not finished. They want you to know all the behavior down. If little CJ is considered to be dirty, it don't take a rocket scientist when you know this man been doing this for 30 years. You got a story from the 90s of him leaving the dildo at Mace's house, which meant wherever Diddy at, he always dealt with man-on-man action, dildos, meat and mouth, whatever you want to say. It's a behavior for 30 years. And it also was his what? Discipline. So as you see, the man was told he would have opportunities, but it all turned out to be rules to get him RAPE'd. So he already had got violated. Then they made him think he had a business opportunity. He was going to be forgiven. They got him to go to the warehouse to that meeting, and that's when he got dealt with, allegedly. So CJ getting the blame on this. Mind you, CJ is about to get his money taken in a lawsuit for Biggie estate. John Doe is pursuing damages from CJ and all the other defendants. Diddy's legal team tells TMZ Mr. Combs' trial and acquittal on trafficking and RICO charges proves what we have been saying all along. Mr. Combs never sexually assaulted or trafficked anyone. That people continue to broadcast and file false accusations, no matter how heinous or uncorroborated, is unfortunate. But Mr. Combs will not back down. He will fight for as long as necessary to win his full vindication. So as you see, they're going to fight these allegations, but it's another lawsuit. So now CJ is in this. CJ ass is grass, y'all. Yes, it is. Mind you, we were just talking about this because they already been giving smoke to CJ and all of them. 1 minute ago, Biggie's son drops bombshell. Faith set my father up for Diddy. See the jokes? We talking about this yesterday. Next thing you know, CJ is charged. That's what make this stuff so weird. So if you didn't get there, nobody's going to escape. You got it clear now. CJ goes back to Diddy. Faith goes back to Diddy. Little Kim at Aaliyah. Huh? Little Kim, Aaliyah funeral surface. Aaliyah goes back to them. Way back. When they took this picture, did they ever think they both would be dead? Nope. When I tell you again, it is so many people dead around Diddy. He got more dead friends than a military person, a gang person. He got more dead friends than anybody that was in any type of cult. Man, this man got more dead friends than I don't know what. So I've been to, he was a black cloud. You see why he's a devil, right? Because you actually got to make a deal to work with him. That's just how it works. That's just how it works. You already know ain't nothing going to come out good with him. This is how it goes, man. So now you see, the game is dead, end of an era. Pac was around them. Look where Pac at now. We got our proof now who's the black clouds of this industry, y'all. You got your proof who brought all the dark energy to your life. And I'm going to say it again. For some reason, they won't go away, y'all. They will not go away. I think it's by choice. I think it's the plan. Yeah. You're going to see them more than you ever saw white Jesus on the wall. Y'all thought y'all were tired of that. You thought you were mad at that. Well, you're going to see these people your whole life. Once again, Lil Kim and Mary being fake. See the acting, y'all? Now you see why the whole Biggie legacy had to be destroyed? Because they were all fake anyway. That's right. That's why they giving us clues to this day. They planned everything. They planned everything. See Biggie in the hospital allegedly? He was truly scared. Huh? You see it all? See Stevie J at the party, D-Rock. You see Jermaine Dupri at the party. You see Biggie smiling his ass off, not knowing that's his last party. Now you see why Jermaine don't get no real interviews? All right. The end of an era. Ed Lover, he knows a lot. Claimed Tupac was his man. No, they know it were people playing both sides. Because that's what it was. Now you're going to see all this smoke. So you just ask yourself, who's next? But you're also seeing, if you didn't get nothing, just know, everybody been affiliated with Diddy, their career is over with. Faith ain't dropping no more albums. All right, Stevie J been loving hip-hop. No, only Atlanta bought that. So we're going to leave that right there. And now you know that Diddy controlled Biggie's whole legacy. You also know he controlled Faith before she was with Biggie. You also know about the relationship with Tupac before they fell out. You now know two coasts were ruined because of Faith. I'm going to say it like I said yesterday. Who's to say if the East Coast and West Coast wouldn't have been linked up and things would have been happening good, because this negative energy that still exists had to be put on the earth, so y'all will always be separated by coasts. Fake ass lines will keep y'all separated forever. All right? But it was only put into play after this bitch named Faith. So now you see nobody had no faith for real. They had faith in nothing but money. And now they're all being exposed. Because Faith is about to get that money taken from a lawsuit. That man that owned 50%, he took it over when Miss Wallace died. He wants the whole company because it's being said that Faith don't know what she's doing. She's spending the money and she didn't break off his half of the money. And she's getting deals, keeping the money for herself. Yes, that's what's being said. So now you see the attack. It's not a mistake. Look at it. Faith, you getting hit with a lawsuit in court, your son getting hit the same time, lawsuit in court. Chess move. Pop, pop. Got him. That's them. Because Faith thought, in the end, y'all, this is what she thought. Real talk. She thought everybody was going to be dead. Diddy in jail. Miss Wallace gone. I got everything now. I'm straight. That's what she thought. She thought she was going to get away. Now you see what that man said, no way out? Now y'all, the industry ain't no way out. Because nobody's going to cheat in this industry. In Black Hollywood, the goal is for you always to die broke. If you don't know nothing, you're supposed to know that. Why the hell you think they got seasons of unsung? What year we in now? They've been making unsung over 10 years, right? All right. You saw E! Hollywood Stories, right? Okay. It don't matter. They're all going to end up broke. Only way they don't end up messed up is if they get into other stuff. They got to get into other stuff way before their career is over with for them to be successful. If they don't, if they retire as entertainers, they shall die broke or work to the day they die. That's how it's set up for Black Hollywood. Understand that part. James Brown worked to the day he died. You're going to see all of them still working. Was it Michael Jackson on tour? All right. You're going to see they always got to work unless they got other stuff. Now, they also keep working to keep their name going when they straight already. Yeah, when they already straight, when they don't want their fame to die, they'll keep doing shows like Beyonce doing right now because her and Jay-Z don't want to die. That's why they keep going. So it's different reasons, but the celebrity entertainer is always going to end bad for them. That's why you're seeing Jay-Z get his humiliation to let you know he was not who you thought he was. He was just an entertainer doing freaky shit, all right, and abusive stuff. He let you know all of them. No. That's why this line had to be drawn, y'all. This line is being drawn for the world to see because they showing the world. No, this ain't America's favorite. This is just their favorite. That's what they showing you. They was the world's favorite when they were pop stars and pop icons. Like when the Biggie Smalls Tupac thing was the biggest and the whole world was tuned in on VH1 MTV, that's when y'all was the shit. And when everybody died and y'all made that song Missing You, that's when y'all was the shit. Y'all was the biggest topic. Y'all was the biggest form of entertainment. But them days are past. So everybody looked up to y'all back then. But now they teaching the world that y'all nobody to look up to. And what? They're abusive. They're sexual deviants. And they do it to each other. They drag each other. They make each other bend over. They stick stuff in each other's mouth. And they abuse each other. All right? So if anybody don't get it clear, you get mad at TMZ. It is no coincidence they use Astroglide colors. All right? Biggie's son CJ sued. You drove me to see Diddy when he stuffed his meat in my mouth. And y'all also know on this channel, I'm the man one been joking, saying they like man meat. Now, why the hell would TMZ say that? And y'all don't get it. They have never made a topic this graphic because they want you to get the details. This is what it is. Diddy is a man meat shover. All right? He's a man meat tugger. He's a man meat disciplinarian. That's right. Brother love for a reason. He's going to discipline you with love. All right? So on this Saturday, we're going to get away from this perversion. Hey, if you smart, you get your members only because now I'm going to heat up. I've dumbed everything down. It's time to go back up. Secrets of America, guys. All right? So tap in. More to come. But all you're going to get is perversion. You're going to get a whole lot of shit from the past. You're going to get a lot of darkness. Just understand it's all of me, all freaks, y'all. Pick one. All right? Now, Kanye, we don't have no clues of him being abusive, but we got proof that Kanye's a what? Perv. He's a pervert. That's what they are. What you think that is when you like to watch? If you like to, okay, you don't whip out on people. Guess what you like to do? You like to watch orgies. You like to watch people have sex. That's what you like. You don't think that's called a perv? Guess what? In real life, I always been like that. If I'm in a hotel, I don't like people listening to me. I don't like hearing people have sex. I don't like that shit. I'm the type, I don't like that. If I feel like you listening to me, I think that's weird stuff. So even the hotels, music got to be up. I don't like that weird stuff, but some of y'all like that stuff. You're weird. But you didn't know you're really a pervert. That's you. Because I think like that. If I'm in a room and me and my lady having all this fun, I'm thinking somebody in the other room jacking off. I don't like that. But that's weirdo. That's what some of y'all do. You like to hear sex? Oh, be quiet, be quiet. You're having sex. You're a pervert. So everybody's freaky in their own way. All right? Some people grope on people. Some people touch butt. Some people talk nasty out their mouth all day. I do something to you. Pervert. You didn't get it, did you? Oh, he's so, oh, your son is so, oh, I let it, girl. I do something to him. Pervert. No, y'all, I know all the codes. Pervert Nation. Thank you very much, LJ. So, Kanye, he want to face his music. If it's for real. All we know is, as of now, Kanye's being charged with being a pervert. That's right. Just like they are. Only difference is they in jail. And they charged for real. And they were messing with a minor for real. It's proof on them. That's right, y'all. So look at these faces good. And just know, this is the face of you know what? Trafficking, crime, and abuse. That is the face of it. I'm not saying it's all true, but just know that's the face. And I'm going to keep showing you. Everybody get locked up for this behavior. Somehow they all going to look the same. Because they didn't want to accept. See, grown man, he been listening to rap his whole life. He's 70. He loved back in the day. He loved all the old school rap. Then you're going to see he looked like a damn goat. He looks like a damn Geppetto on purpose. That's right. Because the trash of this country, it's only two ways left for them to make money, y'all. It's sex acts, taking older people's social security money, because that's what they do too. The kidnapping is also getting that elder in that house and taking their food stamps and all their cards and keeping their ass in a basement or in a room tied up. That's the new wave. Getting mentally ill patients taking their money. That's what they're all into, because they know this is the only way they got left to eat, y'all. As we speak, the cartels, they already shut down, which means the supply is shut down. The only thing they have left is trying to make money on this internet by sexual behavior. Selling their ass and getting other people to sell their ass. Get it? That's what they're doing, y'all. That's all they got left. But they didn't know that was the biggest trap ever set. The streets is now eating each other up. That's what you're watching. And everybody's going down, y'all. So understand that. From the rich to the poor, it's the same exact thing. Diddy was a commercial, so if they knew better, they would have stopped and quit and ran. They didn't know that's how it worked. They just kept thinking it's just Diddy. No, you're supposed to know. They were showing us Diddy behavior is outlawed. And Diddy behavior is going to get you in them fads, going to get your life. So being that they didn't stop, y'all, they all getting rounded up. So top to the bottom, even little CJ, he's going to get round. You get it? He's in it now. Yes, he is. Which means this is embarrassing to Faith, because now her son is considered a weirdo, pervert, and an accessory to Diddy. Nobody's going to escape. Everybody that got Diddy dirt on them, trust me, the diddler going to make sure it all goes down. All right? So understand that. And just to let y'all know, they're not sparing none of them. Let me go back to Chris Brown to show you they're not sparing none of them. This is what I forgot to show y'all, though, y'all. Once again, this is what they feel about black entertainment. You could pick one person to free right now. Now, we've been doing this. Only thing is, Chris Brown wasn't in it. Told you, y'all to face a crime. Y'all to face a criminal, evil, everything bad. They say y'all pick and choose, but it's all of y'all pick one. And Tory Lanez is not from this country. So everybody would say free Tory Lanez, but that's my proof, what I told you. The truth is all the sexual demons are in America. So once again, you kept seeing it get put on Canada. No. Now America going to get cleaned up like Canada. Yeah. But no, this is the home of sexual deviants, y'all. Sorry. The home on the red dot list. The home where people get put on that registry from teenagers all the way up. That's right. Also, so many people got charges saying they got charged for this, charged for that. They lying. A lot of them got sex charges. That's right. Because it was also this thing in America called running trains. Some trains got ran. Some of them ladies went back and said they got tag team. And some guys caught charges. It goes back. Yep. So I'm letting you know, y'all. You can be proud today. Don't matter. Because this is what they think about all of them. All of them got dirt on their hands one way or another. And their dirt was to be given to you. So being that you accepted their dirt, it's not a coincidence, ladies. Every man you've been with treated you like trash because you didn't know you were raised to treat men like trash. When women said, what? I don't like a corny man. I don't like a man that's boring. I don't like all the nice guy stuff. I like thugs. Well, that was the plan, for you to love thugs and your life to be fucked up. That was the plan, y'all. Understand that. Your life is scripted. Your life is controlled. You're going to like what we say you like. You're going to do what we say you to do. What did they tell us? Bend over or no record deal. Justin Bieber, Usher, Chris Brown, all knew Diddy from minors. All right? So, now you know. Anybody been around this game like I have. If you ever seen them having favorites, If you always want to know why this one get treated better than that one and they ain't got no skills, now you know why. Some were willing participants to get that deal, y'all. So that's why I say you could have been in a record deal. You could have been in this game. They had favor in you, but you said one thing they didn't like. You didn't know that. You talking about, man, I can't stand FAGs. You talking all that phobic talk, but you didn't know the whole time you was offending their ass. Oh, yeah, he really hate them like that. That's why you ain't getting no deal then. See, that's how it went, y'all. That's why you hear the stories of Diddy testing you, taking you to the Rainbow Club. That's what Exhibit told you. He didn't just do that with Exhibit. I showed you him taking Jim Jones to them clubs. That's right. That's right. I pulled it already. Because that's the grooming. Yeah, I'm going to sign you, but I'm going to take you to these clubs first, see how you act. Get it? You too phobic. Oh, nah, I can't sign him. This shit ain't going to work. Yes. So anyway, y'all, we're going to close out this Saturday. But here's the proof. Chris Brown was family. Check it out. Chris Brown breaks up fight between Diddy kids and rayj. Y'all remember that little beef happened, which was a fake beef like I told you, because they all family. But you have the proof that they all grew up together. That's why Chris Brown put himself in it, because they're family. They go back. All right? Chris Brown and Rihanna was put together by Diddy and Jay-Z, y'all. When Chris Brown messed up, he got blackballed. They were done with him because he messed up the money. Him and Rihanna didn't even get to do nothing. Also proved when Rihanna and Chris Brown went to their drama, they stayed at Diddy's house in Florida, the freak-off mansion. Star Island. That's the house they stayed at while they was getting their shit together. The same house Chris Brown catches a charge at damn near a decade later. He is family. The game was played on y'all was they're not family because they all were separate. But they all family. That's why the freak-off was really their family reunions. Get it? The freak-offs were their national gatherings. Every time you saw them come together, they really was coming together as family. It's just going to be called a Rock Nation brunch, but they all family. Get it, y'all? We got our own thing. They had their own thing. They family reunion every spring, spring equinox. The family going to come together, and it's going to be called a freak-off. It's going to be called an industry party. No, it's called their family reunion when they all get to see each other. Hey, how you doing? What's up, family? Hug each other and be friends and love on each other. That's how it goes down. All right? So I've been proving you Chris Brown been blackballed. When he was supposed to do the American Music Awards, he was supposed to play Michael Jackson, but they sent his ass home. After he tried out, practiced, and did his part, they sent him home. Then he was supposed to work with the NBA. But Frito-Lay said Chris Brown gonna be there? No. So I'm telling you, he's been blackballed. I also said you have not seen Chris Brown at a red carpet event in over a decade. Because y'all kept also thinking BT was, no, that's for y'all. If you don't see them on that red carpet at Grammys and you don't see everybody shaking, no, he been blackballed. They only been winning through this internet. That's it. They only stayed relevant through the internet. But what people didn't get, they're real fans. When Chris Brown beat Rihanna, his pop fans been left him alone. Whenever your celebrities get humiliated, their fans leave their ass, the real ones, the money makers, the ticket buyers. That's why his ass got to go overseas where people black at. Because nobody else want to see his face. You get it? That's how it works. They've been finished. So that was the game played. The so-called white pop fans always cut them off. But y'all always love them. So that's why y'all looked at as the ones that accept them. Because you never went hard on nobody like you always went hard on white people. I'm putting in race category so you get it clear why you're looked at a certain way, being embarrassed, humiliated, and you don't got a leg to stand on, and you're talking a bunch of nothing because that is the big picture. That's why TMZ is letting you know clear, right? They making it where you can't never in your life talk about racism because all the proof had to be played out of all the abuse you do to each other. Where there's nowhere in hell you can fix your mouth to say a white man did nothing. You did it to each other. See? Y'all do this to y'all own youngsters. That's what y'all do. All ages too. We got the proof. Y'all do that shit in y'all 60s, 70s, 50s, 40s, 30s. We got the proof. Y'all don't look out for y'all youth. We got the proof. That's what it's about. Trading places, y'all. So when you see Secrets of America, y'all, a lot of y'all already know where this stuff started from. We gonna be y'all gonna be us. When it's all said and done, y'all gonna be the scum of the earth. That's how it works, all right? It's not a coincidence. So if anybody don't get it clear, this is real life sex trafficking. This is Hollywood shit. But you're gonna see this pattern of what? Lock their ass up. Who else? Who accepted jail as their culture? Huh? Where else can you go out when they love jail? All right then. Huh? What are they gonna talk about all day? Jail and baby all stories. That's all they care about, right? Prison and sex. Okay. Now you see what it's all about, right? That's them. That's them. They all sexual deviants. And they always gonna end up in jail. Here we go, y'all. All right. So TMZ exposed it. The recent behavior. Into the wrong room. Cat Williams told you already. Bend over, no record deal. Told you already. Now TMZ telling you the discipline. What they say? John Doe head was held by others. He claims Diddy attempted to stuff his meat in his mouth and all the while screaming at him. Screaming at him that his days working for Bad Boy were over as punishment. Now you see why everybody left Bad Boy a certain way? John Doe believes the CC team snapped a photo of the event. Proof as humiliating evidence, hazing, and says when he was able to escape back to the vehicle location, CJ and an entrepreneur named Willie Mack and other individuals were there to transport him home. And what he say? He was forced to ride home with the taste of Diddy's balls lingering in his jaws, a traumatic experience. The lawsuit claims the abuse peaked a few days earlier with the Biggie Small t-shirt. So he already had his way with the man first, then told the man to come back and did something else, allegedly. And allegedly told this man, Diddy allegedly told John Doe, out of nowhere, out the blue, that he was going to F the ish out of him and unexpectedly grope that man. The serial groper, the diddler. It's all alleged. Once again, man, how we know, as far as I know, man, I don't believe nothing they say. For how I know that CJ ain't Diddy's son too. I have no proof that's Biggie's son. I have no proof. How I know that ain't Diddy's little son the whole time. Huh? How you see that in real life? Whole time, nah, man, she's screwing everybody. That's bro, baby. Huh? Diddy, you see Diddy being baby daddy, right? All right. How I know that? I don't know nothing. I don't believe nothing they say, guys. As far as I know, that's one of Diddy bastard kids. You gonna do this, Faith, and you ain't going nowhere, Faith. All right? So anyway, y'all, now you see that little baby boy. Now, I'm gonna say what I said yesterday. It's clear as day. You got the facts, y'all. If Biggie never would have messed with Faith, he would still be alive, maybe. Pop 2. If Biggie never would have got Faith pregnant, his family might have still had that estate. So being that we assume that Diddy put chicks on men, hey, it is what it is. Laura London, Beyonce on Jay-Z. Get it? All right. He knew the power of them light-skinned women. Use them for traps. That's it. But it ain't Diddy's fault because Biggie took the bait. If Biggie might have been so coochie with, he wanted to get her pregnant. He wanted to get married. See that? But he had no clue how it was going to end, y'all. So this is why I tell people, you never know how it's going to end for you. That's how the world works. That's what's so beautiful about life. You start out one way, but you end another way. They get everything good up front. That's why in the end, it always ends up bad for them. So most of us, we went through our struggling and suffering. We waiting for the good stuff. So I'll tell you, these bad people that already had their life, already had their way, is ending bad for them. And they want all of us to feel bad, dark. But all you got to do is go outside, y'all, take a little walk, and you'll see how beautiful life is. And the more this shit fade away, these dark clouds, the more you're going to see the light. And that's all it is. Because other than that, the world say it's all of them, and they planned everything. Huh? That's what the world's saying about them. It was all planned out. Everybody played a role. That's what the world's saying, not me. But you will see this movie called Biggie Small's Funeral. And if you look close, you will not see a tear on Kim or Mary. They look worried like they might be next. To this day, Mary's scared to death and Lil' Kim. But just know, guess what else? They ragging Lil' Kim every day. They ragging Mary too. They saying all they ass knew. Everybody around Diddy's gonna fall, y'all. Them or their brands. On that note, enjoy y'all Saturday. I'll holler at y'all tomorrow. We out. One. Remember that. One thing America got is a lot of secrets. It ain't just this. This is a secret land, period. There's a lot of secrets here. Good secrets, bad secrets. This is the home of secrets. This is a country, a place where you don't even know your real life. Your family told you lies. Well, no. Don't blame outside. Don't blame no books. Don't blame nobody. Some of y'all was told lies from babies. I'm going to tell you again. Some of y'all in families that ain't your family. Some of y'all think that's your father. That ain't your father. Some of y'all, that ain't your mother. That ain't your family last name. That ain't where you from. No, your family told you lies. This secrets of your own family. This is the world of secrets. But all secrets come to the light.